Alex Jones spoke to some hack right-wing filmmaker who went after the drug war. Let's listen.
Look, I'm not for the drug war because it's another evil, but I'm totally against the drug culture that you expose in the film. And people are like, well, wait a minute. You're against the drug culture, but you're also against the drug war. Well, the drug war, the way it runs, actually just expands over all the profits, so it creates a drug culture. But absolutely, the drug culture and the marijuana culture that I see out there of people that smoke this weaponized weed, they're like zombies. And I'm a libertarian. If they want to, be vegetables, that's their issue. Some adults and people, I guess, can use it responsibly, has some medical uses. But the whole weed crowd doesn't understand. Just because I'm for decriminalization doesn't mean I'm endorsing it, because I go into these weed havens, and it is like zombies. I mean, I've known women that were incredibly dynamic, beautiful, talented. Couple years into marijuana, they look like living dead zombies. Yeah, so I've got my issues with it.
Yeah, well, certainly the progressives will use anything, any tool, anything that comes up to exert more control.
Well, look at George Soros. He backs the total weed culture because he wants dumb zombies.
Right. Now, have you ever been to your high school reunion, let's say when you were 28 years old or 38, you go back 10 years later, 20 years later, everybody that was smoking weed in high school is pretty much still smoking weed and working in a fast food joint.
So true. Everybody who smokes weed always fails, and they're always incredibly lazy. In fact, I created a list right here of some of these lazy motherfuckers. A guy named Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Clinton, Clarence Thomas, Stephen Colbert, Jon Stewart, Jay-Z, John Kerry, Bill Maher, Bill Gates, Carl Sagan, George Bush, Andrew Cuomo, Rand Paul, Sanjay Gupta, LeBron James, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Ted Turner, Tom Brokaw, Michael Phelps, Jennifer Aniston, David Letterman, Morgan Freeman, Maya Angelou, Phil Jackson, Snoop Dogg. Need I continue? The list goes on forever. And even if they fire back and say, so what, those are Hollywood elites and slimeball politicians, they don't count. But there was a great article that we covered about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, that listed geniuses and their drugs of choice. And many of them smoked marijuana. Some even did much, much harder drugs. The old joke about Freud is that he did enough cocaine to kill a small horse. There are so many brilliant people throughout history and even today that use drugs recreationally. The idea that any of the old stereotypes can be applied, how it makes people lazy, everybody gets addicted, so on and so forth, totally not true. It all stems from this reefer madness mindset, which is bullshit. In fact, you know who you should listen to on this issue more than anybody else? You should listen to Dr. Carl Hart. Dr. Carl Hart's job is to look for the answers when it comes to neuroscience and drugs, and he deals with stuff like addiction, and he does a whole bunch of research. And you know what he found? 80 to 90% of drug users for all different types of drugs are moderate recreational users. So again, the stereotype that everybody gets addicted to all these different drugs and then they can't function and then their life goes to shit, not true. There's always other things that go into it if somebody crashes and burns. And as far as weed goes, it's like the least addictive drug that there is. And notice how they tried to have it both ways. They said that, the reason why the Democrats are for weed is because then everybody will go out and vote for them. And then in the next sentence, they say, these people who smoke weed, they're so lazy, they can't do anything, they're totally unmotivated. Wait, which is it? Is it that the Democrats promoted weed to get everybody motivated to go vote for them? Or is it the opposite, that, it makes everybody so lazy and they can't do anything and they're unmotivated? They're trying to have it both ways. And the clearest case of projection is when they said, you know how these Democrats are. The reason why they want to legalize weed is because they want control. How exactly would that give them control? In fact, it's the exact opposite. The reason why the Republicans and the establishment want to continue to ban drugs and throw people in jail for weed is because they want control. The drug war is the easiest way to keep tabs on the black community and the Hispanic community and all the minority communities and to have a reason to lock them up for nothing whenever they please. That's why there's a new book about this called The New Jim Crow.